with the opening statement and then open it up to questions.
You know, I just, to begin today's press conference, I just want to, again, echo our program's thoughts and prayers for everyone that was involved yesterday in the incident across the street at the Lambright. A very, very scary accident, very scary incident, and just really, really a heavy heart. And when you think about those involved, you know, everyone that's involved with it, and just really appreciative of the quick response from the city of Ruston, from our campus police, and that everyone there and how they promptly responded. And you know, it's just a really a sobering reminder of you know, just the frailty of all of our lives, and just, you know, your day to day, and just very hopeful for everyone's recovery. And you know, I know our program and myself and people within this program are thinking about all that are involved. So a very scary situation that was handled promptly and quickly by our city of Ruston, and then also on campus. So you know, and as we transition into the last week of our season, you know, I think that, you know, our football team, we had a spirited workout this morning, a spirited practice this morning, and you know, it's just been a very difficult season for everybody. It's been difficult for the fans, it's been difficult for our players, it's been difficult for our coaches, but ultimately, when you look at it from our standpoint, and you see these kids day in and day out, and you see the resiliency of most of these kids, and you see the resolve that they have, and how much they're putting into it, and continue to put into it, despite the losses mounting. I think it's a credit to their character, the kids that have stayed the course, you know, and continue to show up. And those are the things that you try to learn and learn from. There's football lessons, and the football lessons is we need to win. We're well aware of that. There's also the lessons of when it's really difficult, when the ball has bounced against us, whether it's been self-inflicted or otherwise, you know, you have to continue to show up. And as the head coach, you take responsibility for really the lack of us winning. You have to evaluate, you know, the areas that you've been deficient and try to improve in those areas, but you don't shy away from it. You don't shy away from continuing to show up and work and continue to show up and lead really well with a lot of energy and a lot of positivity. And there's not, you know, sometimes it's hard to do that. And I think that our staff is resolved in doing that this final week. Anytime that we get into a situation like this, which throughout the course of my career as really as a coach, you know, fortunately as a player, you know, I was a part of a lot of successful programs, but as a coach, you find yourself in these situations before, and I think that what you do is you continue to remind yourself you're the adult in this situation. You continue to lead well, you continue to show up, and you work with a lot of passion and pouring everything you have into this week. And the result Saturday was very disappointing. We shot ourselves in the foot on offense. Far too many turnovers, you know, 4 turnovers, and it wasn't just the type of turnover. It was just you know, you're about to score a touchdown and make the football game 14-10 and create a lot of momentum for yourself, get the crowd into the game. Then you have a kickoff, you know, where you could pin them back, and we fumble the ball in the end zone. We first drive the second half, we hit an explosive play on the second play, and they take the football away from us. And then the pick six, you know, it was just, I mean, it's about a fluky of a pick six in terms of how it happened, as I've been a part of, but it happened. And so we didn't play well enough on offense. Our goal is to score 1 more point, and on defense, our goal is to hold them to 1 less point. And we didn't. We failed in that area. And so, you know, I'm proud of our kids in terms of showing up. I'm proud of our kids in terms of their ability to continue to fight through a lot of adverse situations in terms of the results on the field. But viewing this season as anything other than, you know, our wins and losses have obviously not been what we wanted, but I'm very proud of our kids in terms of how they've shown up each week. Correct. No, we did not. We did not. We do have kids that have class over there, you know, that it wasn't going on during that time. It'd be huge. Yeah, it'd be a huge shot in the arm. I mean, we've lost 5 games, and 4 of the 5 games, you know, have been one-possession games. I mean, last week's the final score is going to be bigger than what it was, but we all saw, you know, how it got to that point. I think it'd be a huge shot in the arm in terms of the momentum into the winter, and then also into the spring for our football program to win on the road against a 7-3 Jacksonville State team that's very good. You know, Rich Rodriguez has done a great job there. They play, you know, they play very physical. You know, I think it would be a huge shot in the arm for our football program, for our players, and also for this program. Yeah, they do a great job they're similar to Liberty from the standpoint, from a schematic standpoint. They do a really good job of finding your weak link, and whether it's how you line up to a formation, how you line up to a personnel group and attacking that. And so we've got to be really good with our looks up front. Our guys have got to be great with their eye discipline at linebacker and safety. And so I think that Jacksonville State does a really good job, much like Liberty in that standpoint. Much like Liberty, they have a quarterback that can really hurt you with his legs. A very dynamic runner, throws the ball well. They have some speed on the offense at the skill positions that's difference making. And I think that their offensive line is a really cohesive unit in terms of how they play. And so I think they're very similar from that standpoint. The personnel groupings are a little different at times when you compare the two, but in terms of their execution and the run game is very, very high. And we're going to have to tackle well. They have backs that can break tackles, and their quarterback is elusive and does a nice job in their play action game as well.
Their defense got the worst passing defense in the league. They average about 250 yards per game giving up. It feels like Hank, his last game, really downfield passes were his strength. He found 5 different receivers for over 20-plus yards. Is that going to be the same game plan going into this game?
When I looked at that before this week, I was really shocked because I watched the film of, all right, and you look at him on defense, and you look at him on offense, and I've seen him crossover films on offense with different opponents that we've prepared for. So I've watched him on offense, and then this week, and I was surprised, just from that standpoint because of the way they play. I mean, on defense, it's a group that flies around. They're very physical. And they do a lot of different things coverage-wise, and they give you a lot of different looks from the quarterback standpoint. And you've got to be extremely disciplined in terms of your progressions and verifying everything that you see post-snap, because pre-snap to post-snap, the picture changes. And so I think that they have a great pass rush. Chris Hardy, number 91, is incredibly talented. And gets after the quarterback, and they do a great job with their pressures. And so we'll have our hands full, no doubt, against their defense, just because they're a group that challenges you every snap in terms of your identification at center. It challenges you every snap in terms of your quarterback, pre to post, and how disciplined can you be with the football. And then there's going to be some times where they're going to hit you for a net loss just because they're so aggressive and they come from so many different areas. And you have to be able to overcome those. No, he did not play. Yeah, he did not play. And I would say he's questionable this week. Yeah, it's a balance, but ultimately it comes down to the health, of Jaden and how well he can function. And he was out there practicing today. It's just a matter of how strong he feels, driving and pushing off, because he plays a pretty impactful position in terms of, you're pushing on up and you're getting pushed on, and you've got to be able to plant and drive and all those things. Yeah, that's a key for us with him is pocket presence this week. I mean, we've got to have great pocket presence, and we've got to have great ball security in the pocket. Two hands on the ball as we move up through the pocket, and they're a relentless pass rush, and they come from a lot of different areas and a lot of different places. And so, identification with the running back to the center, we've got to put a lot of time into it this week. Some more time this week than sometimes others, just in terms of what problems their defense poses and how they pose those problems. And so it'll be very critical that Hank, in terms of our quarterback having great ball security in the pocket, and then also with our decision making, and then just feeling his way through the pocket as he goes through his progressions with his eyes downfield. Well, there's been a couple things I've talked about, and we like a hard finish. I mean, we talk about that you want to finish the season hard, you want to finish reps hard, and I think it's a very revealing week. It's a very revealing game. It's a revealing season. Whether you're winning, whether you're losing, whether you're kind of in between, This game reveals so much character of people, of players, of coaches, of everybody. And so my message to our players is there's going to be at some point, whether it's next year, whether it's next season for us, whether it's 5 years down the road, whether it's 10 years down the road, whether it's a month from now, where you're going to be challenged in ways that you would not like to be challenged. You're going to be challenged in ways in terms of things not going your way, whether it's a husband, whether it's a father, whether it's you're owning your own business, whether you're working for somebody that you don't like, whether you're working for a company that maybe the results aren't what it should be that they've been in the past, or whatever it might be. And those are the lessons that are revealed through hard times and hard seasons like this. And again, I've said this numerous times, it's not a take your ball and go home type mentality. It's a finish through the end mentality. It's get up, it's evaluate how you're doing things, it's evaluate if there's a better way to do things, and then also it's about how you finish the season. And so it reveals a lot in terms of your resume as a coach, which I'm not proud of the record at all. I am proud of the progress. I'm proud of looking these guys in the eye every single day and knowing that, for the most part, that the group is doing things that everything they can do to help us win. And so I think that's where the message and the morale is the Epson projector doesn't lie. So whether it's PFF in terms of Pro Football Focus film that you're going to be on, or whether it's the film that goes down that's your last game. When you're later on, I shared with them, like for me, my kids ask me all the time about watching a game, or I have a VHS tape, which they don't even know what that is. But I really never had any hesitation about, hey, yeah, let's look at that. Not because of how I played, because I played very poorly, but because I knew I gave everything I had. And you don't have any results when you do that, regrets when you do that. The results, we're going to work very hard to get them changed. We're going to work extremely hard to get them where we're winning football games, and it's showing from that standpoint. But I think that you challenge it by how we show up, because it always starts with us, and it starts with me in terms of if I walk around here with my head down and I change my demeanor and I all of a sudden do things differently, then they're going to do things differently. But I'm passionate about this place. I'm passionate about our players, and I'm passionate about putting a better product in terms of winning football games on the field than what we've done. And we're going to continue to show up and give everything we've got until the game's over on Saturday, and then we've got lots of evaluation that we have to do in terms of our roster and other things.